So, here's one of the 6 secrets about what's wrong with groupthink. That's right, groupthink. So, where do I begin? Where do I slice the pie? When I think about, I like to say millennial generation. A lot of kids, because of a rebound effect with a new group of parents that decided to be better than their parents, started getting kind of easy on their kids, and that's a good thing, but I think it went kind of wrong with a lot of the souls that manifested into this realm from some birthings, I guess, right? So, a lot of people right now who are the age of, let's see, I think it is 23 to like 30, maybe 22 to 30 years old, around there. They don't have a raw, traditional, grounded foundation of work the same way that certain people used to in let's say, certain time zones or in any time in history that people did have these things. And it's a form of denial, and it's really, really weird. So a lot of this equates to or manifests as them not having any respect, them not showing any simple respects. That's how you can spot that, like, what I'm saying is true, or whatever the substance of that is. So, me, I have a fine balance of this where I am kind of a stereotypical millennial in a way. Because I really like to have fun, and I really have this vision of like this utopia that I should just be able to have fun, that I should just be able to do what I want, that I should be able to drink, smoke cigarettes, do Adderall, whatever I want, right? I've had that sickness for like a long time. I still kind of do. I'll call it a sickness. I guess that's what everyone seems to think, because that stuff is automatically wrong. Doing any kind of drugs is automatically wrong. And so I always disagreed with that. So that's kind of like something that I can agree upon with a lot of these youngsters. It's like we should be able to do a lot of things. But when it comes down to like how I treat elders, how I treat people that I don't know already very well, how I treat people that I don't know already, I usually have a more grounded, sense of like respect for people, than some other people, so like social justice, there's really not much of such of a thing as social justice. It hasn't really existed at all. A lot of people really do these things, and it's a battle between them and God. So here's the thing, is there is a such thing as chosen people. Anyone can become chosen, but it's up to how you use your free will in life, your intention, and your heart's desires, and then your actions and things like that. Then you are batter up to become a chosen one by God. A lot of times, chosen ones are people who used to be sinners. This is the mistake. How could someone be a chosen one when they have done this? A lot of times God chooses people who used to be murderers, used to be this, used to be that. And those will be chosen people. Chosen how? All this stuff. Just chosen to be like a mission and a movement. Let's just put it that way, to keep things healthy. you know? And so what happens is you have a simple, grounded foundation with God, and that does not always equate to massive amounts of material wealth at the snap of your fingers, you know, which is what's in nowadays, you know? And so when you have a grounded foundation with God, some people who will have material wealth and things, they try to push your button, and they realize like there's they can see like that you're feeding off of a light energy, that you feed off of light, and it makes them feel as if like there still is some higher abundance, as in maybe eternity or star power or something that you have that doesn't add up with their own grading system and things like that, about like what they've been taught success is, and other things with groupthink and what everyone's been saying and things like that. It doesn't add up with that. It's almost like you're floating above this place a little bit when it comes down to it. I mean, something along those lines, you know? So it could be people who are just normal people, right? Just normal. They're not different. They're not unique, really. Then they'll admit that. They're proud of that. This makes them different. Sorry. That's just, I would assume that's some reverse psychology floating around. But that makes, sorry, let me move on. Yeah. So a lot of people try to get revenge through social deviancy. I've had people with me, the little bit that I did hop on media and stuff, like at certain points, people would just think they have like the ultimate revenge porn. You know, they think that the people that you mention, the people that you used to be friends with, the girls, the guys, whoever that you liked, that they knew this, they coincidentally have hustled and now are in pictures with these people, smiling in these creepy ways, you know, and that's called like what I would like to call a weird type of revenge, you know, and it's all about in the name of like, yeah, man, we're all just happy, man. And what is happening is they're in a place where they're experiencing some pleasure there. They're experiencing pleasure, but I have a slight sickness like that, but not nearly to that degree. It's not worth it to me to try that hard to get social revenge on someone. It's not. That's because I'm more mature. And we would argue about this for days between me and millennials who are my age. We would argue and argue and argue about this and never figure it out. So, that things like that, and you know, in some bright future and maybe some golden age or something, there would have to be some type of social justice that adds up, that makes things happen quicker, makes things happen faster, makes some form of like a slap on the wrist for those people, because of how dynamic some setup energies get, because the system is degrading. And a lot of people, you know, would say, what do you mean by the system? Like, what do you mean? You know, like, okay, the control system. Okay, look around. Like, you've got to think outside the box to see this stuff sometimes. But there's dynamics that keep people depressed. But to say that you are depressed sometimes can be exposing to people. Like, oh, you know, I guess. So, yeah, I'm looking for the point. So it really is a strange form of envy that they'll have, where they know like they have material items, right? But that relationship that you have to God, the fact that you're kind of like chosen in a way, or you might be chosen, or there's just some energy going on where you're following up with God on a lot of things. You have a lot of integrity. it shows. It shows like the moves and the levels of maturity to God, you know? You might be living in a space where you're isolated and you know that that's a better option. Like you just connect with God. And you already have it all in tune. You value the fact that God is like your favorite, and that's all you care about is connecting with God now. And so that's what you find spiritually energizing. That's what you get off on, is connecting with God and helping out other people who are in need and stuff like that. So other people might look at that and just, automatically ask you, like, what do you, it, like, man, like, what, there's really no, you try to go there, and then the elephant in the room is just because people don't touch on subconscious stuff. They don't touch on peeling back the layers and the lens of the subconscious. Meditation is just one way to do this. It doesn't have to be drugs, but hanging out in nature, there's different things that slowly are gonna get you to question subconscious inner denials and inner workings. And the more you do this, it inches it forward percent after percent after percent to get you into more of an objective space where you have more of a clarity as to what is happening for real. And then you start to see things light as day. And so little situations like that where people are like fighting over like who's, I've been calling it revenge porn, but it means you're literally living in a space where you're now going to try to do these things, probably assuming that God's not going to catch on. Where you're trying to and then, it'll be this whole argument with a lot of millennial type of kids, adults, versus me, because I'm a little bit old school with my mentality compared to just any old millennial kid who's tech savvy, who's played every video game in the book, who's spends all the time on the pixels on the screen. Now I have a fine balance. I'm a millennial myself, so I spend time on the pixels on the screen, but I have this very fleeting, scarce view of like, you better use the internet to succeed or else it's going to be a waste of time. And I'm very scared of this, and I fear it in like a good kind of way, in a healthy way. I'm worried about it just enough. Then I spend time out in nature, taking walks, getting in the sunlight, because I'm aware if I spend all the time behind the screen, all the time looking at the pixels, that's not going to be good for my eyes. It's not going to be good for my spirit. It's not going to be good for, there's a lot of stuff like that. And some people do not have, they don't, it does not add up with the tree of life, like the relationships. It doesn't add up to the journey and the revolution and where things are at. And the groupthink will always convince everyone that that school is just the answer. It's just the answer, and it's not. It's a whole situation. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Like, go to school, but you're going to have to try to work your ass off to compensate for the fact that school is not made for everyone. And this is simple. This is still a simple understanding that has not been understood yet by most of everyone, is that school is like something like, if you don't find out so the whole the law that if you do what you love for a living, then you'll never work a day in your life. If you figure out what that vision is for yourself, you'll usually find a lot of these other youngsters they'll lie to you about that own perspective. So if you're into music, or something, you know, you find what you find fun, and you're going to try to slowly hustle and grind until you get over that hump, until you can finally do what you want to do for fun as you're living, and channel it through your heart. So it can be hard to do, but a lot of it is because of the weight of the groupthink's denial. Groupthink and its denials. And this is coached, this is taught. So this is my answer to what control system, right? So it's all over the place. It is all over the place. Does that make any sense? So yeah, I'm gonna put up a little follow-up video to this. All right, peace.